Welcome to Mendezville Live, with something to talk about. Here is Rudy Mendez.
What's going on, Mendezville Live? We got another show for you today. It's getting heated. It's getting heated in politics at the mansion. You know, Peñitas. It's getting good. There's some Facebook posts that were like, ooh. But either way, we're not here to talk about politics today. We got some nice, laid back, relax, enjoy the show, listen to Entrepreneur. But before we go into that, let's give a shout out to some people out there. First and foremost, let's make sure that we all elect Adolfo Mendez, our District 2, November 2020. Make sure you vote for Adolfo Mendez. That is my brother. Great character, great guy. So just so you know that. So on another note, keep a lookout. Nice little brand, Savage by Rue. Love the logo. I'll probably get a tattoo of that before I die, I hope. And of course, big sponsor here, World Finance. When life throws unexpected expenses your way, World Finance is here to help. Whether it's medical bills, car repairs, or child care expenses, a personal installment or title loan can help you take control and get back to the good things in life. Even if you have a low credit score or no credit score, they will help you get the money you need. Get started by applying today at their Mission location at 1600 North Conway, Suite A, Mission, Texas. They can take applications by phone at 956-580-4533, or you can visit their website at loansbyworld.com. They are accepting applications with matriculas, passport, or ITIN. You do not need to have a social to apply. All loans are subject to their usual credit underwriting policies. Great guy. I know the manager. I golf with the guy. Hey, the guy is out to help people. He will help you get back on your feet. You need a little $500 loan, $1,000 loan. Go contact them. So today, special guest. I've been trying to get this guy on there for a while, or to get him on here. My guest is a current educator, entrepreneur, fashion designer, life enthusiast, former expat, back in the country in the United States of America. Welcome, my brother, the baby, Ruben Mendez. What's going on, big dog?
What's going on? Finally, long overdue, but we're here. We're live. Let's get this show started. All right.
Hey, let me see your shirt.
Your drinks in hand because it's going down. All right.
You got a cocktail. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking straight up whiskey tonight.
Oh, snap. Like that? Dang.
Yes,
Saliste a tu papá.
All right. Let me yes.
Show me your shirt. Let the audience see the shirt. Nice. There you go. Ooh, I need one of those. I need one of those.
All right. Well, you can get the shirts on Instagram. You can go ahead and send us a direct message, and we are at Savage by Rue. Make sure you go on there and follow us.
Hold on, Ruben. What is Savage?
At Savage by Rue, Instagram.
At Savage by Rue. It's all one letter? It's all one?
Yes.
All right, let's see. Hold on real quick. So we got something like that.
Yes, you can go ahead and go on Instagram. You can send us a message, and we can go ahead and get that shirt shipped out to you. If you are live tonight, you are entered for a chance to win a little something. All right.
I like that. Cool. So you're an entrepreneur. You got the shirt. Hold on. Let's give the audience a little. There's a logo right there. Savage by Rue. How did you get into this? That's what I want to know. I guess that's what people want to know. How did you get into this?
How did I get into Savage by Rue, or how did I cross the pond to this side of the world?
Well, that's where it originated, across the pond, didn't it?
It sure did. Okay. So I think we should start there. How I crossed the pond and how I became about integrating myself to a whole new culture, society, a new language, new alphabet. I mean, totally something uncharted.
So time out. So people can understand. You go to UT, you graduate La Jolla High School.
I do.
Eres coyote. Then you go to UTSA. You graduate UTSA as a road runner. Then you come back to the Valley. You got some hustle, some side hustle, some jobs, working different places. And then all of a sudden you just decide you're going to go to China.
Yes. Sometimes there's, the cliche, follow your dreams, do it. It's never too late. Follow your dreams. I got tired of going to work Monday through Friday. I needed something. I wasn't happy.
Right.
So one day I came across a Facebook ad that said teach abroad in China. And I went ahead and hey, Freddie, what's going on? So I went ahead and I did I believe it was like an application or something. Or no, the ad was for a TOEFL certificate. You needed to get a TOEFL certificate to teach a foreign language abroad. So I saw this ad on Facebook. It was a school out of Chicago, a sister school in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, and I said, this is perfect. This is perfect. Love you too, because this is perfect. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go for it. So sure enough, I went ahead and I took the course. It was like a 180-hour course in Vallarta. I was out there for about a month and a half. And it happened, I started applying for jobs. And the process, it was a very long process. It was about 10 months. It was a 10-month process for me to get everything situated. Visa.
But this was after you had already finished at Puerto Vallarta.
Correct. I finished in Puerto Vallarta. I came back. I came back to the Valley. I was in the Valley briefly for about like 4 months or something like that. So, or two, something like that. Anyways.
Hold on. Just so people know, what give us a kind of just for students or for people that might want to be an expat or want to take that route, what kind of grind or what kind of week did you go through when you were over there for the month?
What kind of what? I'm sorry.
Like, what did you do? What were you doing while you were at Puerto Vallarta?
Oh, Puerto Vallarta. If you're a teacher, you're single, and you want to travel the world, I do highly recommend that you take your TOEFL certificate. That opens a door to the world. You can abroad, you can teach. There's so many countries. In Puerto Vallarta, you wake up, you go to class from 9 to 3. Okay, yes. You wake up from 9 to 3. You go to class, you do some teaching, but I had a bunch of lawyer students trying to learn English. And so they were trying to do that. And you get certified after a month, you take a test and you go for it.
Nice. So they basically train you on how to do it.
Yes. I said TOEFL Villa Vallarta. That's the name of the school. It's a great professor, Nino Di Loreto, Italian guy, super fun, totally worth it.
Nice. Sorry, Ruben, I was doing this so people because there was a glare.
No veo.
Just so the audience sees, because they saw me do this, they're like, "What the hell is really doing?" It was just for the glare. But yeah, so I remember you telling me, while you're there, you're learning that stuff, and they train you. So it's not like you leave to China all of a sudden. You got training before you left, no?
But I wasn't. The training that I got was not the training that I needed when I got there. It was totally different. I remember getting to China. And I was staying at a hotel there in the city center. Xipai was the station. And I didn't want to leave the vicinity of that block. I was scared. Everything was so new. And they would say, go explore where? No me quiero perder, the headquarters to the company that I was working for was a block down the road. So it was just that. And so for like the first 2 or 3 weeks, you go into like this intense training course, how to be in the classroom with the kids or whatnot, games, personal development. And then they show you the route they show you to your campus, where you're going to be. And so they come pick you up. At the headquarters, and your supervisor, your director, school principal picks you up and takes you. So you're like trying to remember the way, like, okay, because this is going to be my route. You needed to come back into the office once a week, into the headquarters. So you're like, I have to remember this. So it was most definitely a change.
Bro, you just took me back. I got lost on my way back, my first day of school, when I did the same thing. They showed me the route in the morning. On the way back, I was 30 minutes late to lunch because I took the wrong. Me fui por la Gran Vía, bien perdido, no, hombre. I had to go to Spanish. I can only imagine you in China. What is it? Mandarin that they speak over there?
Mandarin, known as Putonghua. Yes, a very difficult language, but interesting.
Nice. So you go to China. You're gonna teach kids, or so you went to go teach kids or adults?
I went to go teach kids. It was called English First. I worked for English First. And the pay, I'm not going to lie to you, it wasn't that great when I first got there. It was good enough to survive. But I'm forever grateful for EF because they brought me to China and they paved the way for me. They took me to my bank to open up a Chinese bank account. They gave me a cell phone as soon as I got there. They took care of my whole visa process and whatnot. So that made my transition so much better because as soon as you would get there, you would get an assistant. So my assistant was Sarah. So for 2 weeks, she would shadow me, like take me to the store, show me around places around the headquarters. Yeah.
Didn't your former yearbook teacher, Maritza Cantu, do that?
I have no idea.
I know she taught something like that. But I'm gonna have to ask her on the show or something like that. But I know she did something like that. Either way, so you have the guide. So it's not like if you're like on your own, like somebody's helping you out.
Well, you know what? That when I got there, I get there like at 5 a.m. after like a 28, 29-hour flight. I get there at 5 a.m. and they were supposed to be waiting for me there, at the exit. And so right. I get to the exit and everyone's got signs, and of course some signs are in Chinese characters, and then there's a bunch of Mr. whatnot, right?
Right.
Or the company name, whatever company you work for, it's the industrial capital of the world, so there's always people coming in and out. And I get there and I don't see my name and I don't see my company's name. So I'm freaking out. It's 5 a.m. I don't know anything. And I said, no, this can't be happening. So I had a phone number. On my email. And I get to China. I don't speak a lick or understand anything in Chinese. The people have never seen someone so big in their life. They're freaking out. And I'm telling the guy, you call, body language, universal. It's a universal body language, worldwide. Right. Everyone can do the same. He called the guy and like maybe 10, 15 minutes later, they arrived and they took me to the Timmy Hotel, it was called. Yeah.
Man, that must have been some scary stuff, man.
It was all right. It was a 10 minutes walking, back and forth. What's going to happen? But they got there. It was a Buick. It was a real fancy. The Chinese are known for real fancy. The fancier it is, the better. They rather have a super fancy car than a home, And so the car was super fancy. And I remember just driving through the expressway and just seeing buildings, nonstop buildings, 30, 40, 50 floors, just nonstop old buildings, some new, some old. And I was like, wow, I'm here. I am here.
Nice. So it's like New York City, okay, like New York.
Let's take a pause and take a shot. Yes. All right. We'll take a sip about that.
Nice. Water for me. Gotta keep fresh. Great idea, Lisa. Thanks for the advice. So it's like New York, busy, super, like just like you see in the movies, I guess.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. Crazy.
So you start teaching kids, and then at what point do you start teaching adults?
I start teaching kids, and then China, I said I have free time in the mornings because, you work in the evening. The most important time for the child is in the evening when they finish their public school, After school, they'll take, piano class, drum class, English class, math class, Lego class. Some kids take up to 9 classes a day. And so they're busy all day. Right. And so I didn't have to go into work until the evening, about 3 o'clock. So I knew that my mornings, I wanted to push. I wanted to do something. All right. So what I did is you start meeting a lot of people. It's such a big city, but the foreigners come together and you go to the same places, you go to the same restaurants, and you come together and you start, hey, what's going on? Or what's up? Where do you work? What do you do? And, you're so far from your home, your family or whatnot, that you meet these foreigners and you automatically like build some kind of friendship, some kind of connection. Especially, for example, if you meet someone that speaks Spanish, let's have a tequila shot, Español, no mames, let's take a shot. And so, stuff like that. And it's crazy. It's out of control.
So, okay. So 2 questions. So when you're over there, so everybody that's there is expats no, it's just like Americans that are over there then?
It's Americans? There's everything, there's
right. But the expat title is just for the Americans?
Expat is an expat. If you're not from the home country, you're an expat.
Oh, okay. And then there's people like, what kind of people did you meet from what different countries?
I have great friends from the UK. Shout out to them. I have some great friends in Indonesia, Russia. I have friends. Luckily, I was able to create awesome relationships with people around the world. And like I said, I've been to about over 20 countries, and in each country, I kept in contact with somebody, and to this day, I still reach out. And that's the way we're doing it. It's networking. It's all about networking, and I think that's the key. That's the goal.
So then, you have you're teaching kids in the evening. You have all this free time in the morning. You're making friends and networking. So then, what's the next move for you at that time?
The next move is I get a message on WeChat, and WeChat is a combination of like Facebook and WhatsApp put in one. And so the Chinese use it for everything, to pay, to everything. It's just WeChat. Everyone's got WeChat. You can link into different things from there. So I get a message on WeChat and say, hey, my international school's hiring, but there's 4 people that have applied. And I said, well, let me give it a go. I was getting tired of working at EF, the same thing, drill. And I said, let me try something else, because we only had 2 weeks off at EF. And then they told me at the international school, you had 3 months off paid. And I said, well, this is the way I need to go. So I applied to that school, and I leave about 2 hours later. I get a phone call. Hey, you got the job. When can you come sign? And so I said, I did that, and I switched over to an international school, Huamei International School in Guangdong, Guangzhou, which is the south of China. And I started there. To my surprise, it was a boarding school. So we had children as young as 2 years old who would stay on campus all week. And the first 2 months was very tough. The kids cry. They're children. They want that love, I guess, or that warmth from their parents, from their family, and they got to go learn. That's how hard.
That's intense. That's intense. So then, are they there all day, and then they get picked up, or how does that work?
They get dropped off Sunday night, and they get picked up Friday evening.
Oh snap! So it's just
they live there. I had in my homeroom classroom, I had 4. I had 2 Chinese teachers and 2 mother aides. They would call them mother aides, that would help the kids shower, feed them, make sure that their beds were done, and all that good stuff.
Oh wow! How much do they pay for that kind of stuff?
They pay about, per semester is about, I believe it was like 58,000 RMB, so approximately about 7,500 USD per semester.
Oh man, they take that pretty serious.
Yes, they do. Yes.
So what were your working hours like at that point?
Okay, from 9 to 11, and from 3 to 5. So
well, yeah, not bad. So you only worked 4 hours a day then?
Yeah. So I always had extra time. Needed to do something. You're in China. People are moving, hustling, bustling. Everyone's just super fast. And you start walking around. What do you see? What do you like? And you just take it from there. You start meeting people that are also doing different things. Like, oh, I have a show, I sing with this band. Oh, I'm having a live prose and poetry night by the river. And so you start meeting all these people, and you start figuring out, okay, who am my energy? Who is it attracted to? Who can I become friends? Or you know how that goes. It's a natural form.
Yeah.
And so people, and then you start doing it. My thing was, when I got to China, they told me about some famous markets, Kendo markets. They said
Kendo?
There's
Kendo, you said?
Kendo. They said there's some Kendo. There is a market named Kendo, and that's where all the foreigners go to buy their products. What's up? Because you go there, you buy products, and to resell. So in my mind, I'm like, ding, 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 ding. I need quick. Take me quick. And so that was it. So for about the next 3 or 4 months, my weekends were spent at Kendo Market. 10, 11, 12 hours a day. You take the train. It takes about an hour to get there. You walk. You have to walk to the market. You negotiate all day. By the time you get the stuff, you got to go over to DHL. You got to ship your stuff, and you got to take another train to another part of town to do all that good stuff. So yeah, it was very time consuming, but I love being out there walking those markets. That's something that I really miss. You know, I was able to walk 14,000 steps a day. And here in America, even if I go for a 2-mile walk, I walk like 3,000 steps a day. So
So es como la pulga o qué?
Like tipo pulga, but times 10. Okay, it's just out of control. Yeah,
really. So I guess when you were over there, and people were like, "Hey, your brother in China," I'm like, "Yeah." People would ask me, "So how is it when you're getting the factories and all the products we see made in China? What as we as Americans, what do we need to know about the whole made in China? What is that?"
Well, unfortunately, at this moment, I can't disclose that information. Okay.
Okay.
No. So, you know, it's the industrial capital of the world. It's the industrial capital of the world. So everyone from all over the world comes there and they want to source. They want to source whatever it is. You want to sell diapers. You want to sell bags. You want to sell accessories, electronics. What do you want? What are you doing? Car parts, you know, automobile industry. Everything is there. So I had the opportunity to visit the Guangzhou International Canton Fair, which happens twice a year. And this is the biggest factory fair. You know, all these factories come together to one place in Guangzhou, and they set up, you know, like a fair.
Like a convention. Kind of sort of.
Huge convention. I mean, we're talking huge convention. You just walk. People were in one of those electric cars because it's just never ending conventions.
Like a Donald Trump huge.
We're gonna just stop there, okay? So
let's take a pause.
Let's take a shot at home.
Cocktails with Rue. I like it. So
yeah.
You're at the convention. So tell us about this. So, I mean, I've been to conventions. What kind of people were at this convention? Not the vendors, the people that were there shopping around and stuff like that.
Well, I just heard that there was a convention in town, and my thing was on. I need to get in. I need to see what it's all about. You know. So I show up. They say I take a taxi. No, I take a bus, and then I'm like, okay, I'm lost. So I need to get off. I get off that bus and I hop on a taxi and I show him the direction, the address. He takes me. He drops me off right in front. I have no clue what's going on, but it's catered to foreigners. Chinese citizens are not allowed to go in unless they have a sponsor and they pay $300. So I went there by myself, followed the signs. I was able to register by myself and go through that whole process. So now I'm a lifetime member of the Guangzhou Canton Fair, and I'm allowed to go in twice a year, every year. Nice. So that's an experience. That was a great experience. And then from there, I just started sticking to all the fairs. You know, they have the textile fairs. They have the electronics. They have the tea, the real big business tea, art paintings, the leather goods. And they had it. They had a fair for everything, toys. And so it's made up of a bunch of foreigners. I feel like Guangzhou, I had the opportunity to meet people from all over the world because they all come there to get products, you know? And so you would meet some people, hey, I'm just here for the week, or I'm here for 3 more days, or, you know, or here's my contact. Let me see how I can help you help me, you know?
Right. So, I mean, I'm just out of curiosity, just for the viewers, were you ever close to where, I'm getting off track, but we'll come back to it. Was that where the coronavirus spread or not? Not
I
close?
Was 550 miles south from Wuhan, where the first case.
Wuhan, that's what it was, Wuhan.
Yes.
That was the first case. But either way, because I was confusing the names. So at this point, you're still not in the entrepreneur stuff. You're just, you know,
I'm just
scouting.
I'm just selling bags. We won't mention any brands or customers' names, but I'm selling bags, wallets, shoes, belts, all that good stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I got to a point where I started going to these fairs, and then you can put basically your logo on any product that you want. And I was like, you know what? I need my own. I'll tell you what. And I've told you this, and I'll tell you this on the air.
dude, I love this logo. Like, I'm not a big tattoo guy. I don't have a tattoo, but man, if somebody would tell me you want a tattoo, I'd be like, this is one of this. I want this tattoo. It's how did that logo come about? Or am I
That
going
logo
too fast?
I met a graphic designer from Burundi, from South Africa, a black guy living in Shao Bay, and that's a train station out in, and they call it Little Africa or Chocolate City. And they had the barbers there, the fades or whatnot. And so he was a graphic designer, did some stuff, and I gave him, I spoke my ideas. I gave him some images. I gave him a color scale. And he took about 8 to 9 days of back and forth, switch this, switch that, move this. And we finally came to this logo, which I was feeling. And it was for a tropical high-end resort, but it works for everything.
You still got some of your clothing line of these guys?
I do have some stuff here. Like I said, if you want to get a tee or a long sleeve tee, you can always visit us on @SavageBarber on Instagram, and we'll make that happen for you.
So Ruben, so before you get there, what kind of when you were doing bags, after the bags and you started meeting people, weren't you teaching one of your students that was owned a factory or something like that? What was the story there?
I did. Her name was I can't remember her name, but I started teaching. I knew I had extra time, so I started teaching adults. I started teaching adults in China illegally. Hey, Veronica. I started teaching illegally because my visa was to work for EF, but the pay was so good. They were paying you about $50 to $60 an hour to, just be in class and discuss, right. He's American. He's American. Oh, he's American. Why are his eyes not blue? Why is he not white? And to a Chinese person, to a Chinese national, when they, there's so many here, but in China that they've never had the opportunity to leave their country, automatically you're from Los Angeles. Hey, Suke, what's going on? Decent. Are you from Los Angeles or New York? So to them, it's just Los Angeles or New York, and to them, Americans are just white with green eyes. So
what do they do to their eyes?
Who?
The Chinese, to their eyelids.
Many things. Okay.
I know. This that they want to have the.
They do, and it's so crazy because it reminds me so much of Mexico. Like they'll set up a tent outside of a community, and we're doing tattoos. Okay. Or they'll set up a tent. We're cutting hair. Who needs a haircut? They're pushing forward. They're making that money. They've got people. Yeah, even calligraphy. Like, let me give you a little quick calligraphy course. For $2 or whatnot.
Really? So it's puro hustle. I mean, people hustle.
People hustle. Yeah, people hustle for sure, and they hustle hard, and they hustle all day, every day.
So then, so you start teaching adults. You're conversing, and then what's the opportunity that comes up there?
I meet one of my students and she tells me I have a factory. And I said, well, I'm interested. And she said, well, what are you doing right now? And I said, nothing. She's like, come with me. And so we go, and I said, give me a second. I got to go back into the office. I got to do some stuff on the computer, but give me 10 minutes and I'll meet you out. Sure enough, I get out of the mall and she's there in a Porsche SUV waiting for me, pimped out, beautiful white Porsche. We get to the factory. It's an old building, and she shows me all her inventory. And It's bandage dresses, and it's a bunch of bandage dresses, rayon material. And so we worked out a good deal. I came back to the U.S. That was my first year when I came back down. I did a pop-up shop. It went well. I'm going to get back into it. But because of the pandemic and whatnot, the whole relocating countries, it's been crazy. But I'm back, and we're gonna get back into it, and we're gonna go harder than ever. Yeah. And
I remember you bringing them back, and one of the things that I was most impressed by was the material, the quality of the material. When you're making those dresses over there in that factory, is all that done from scratch, and you can mess around with how you make it?
Everything. They even do the fabric from scratch. Okay, so they do the fabric from scratch. It was very high quality.
Yeah, but I remember.
The part is that they have that exact same style with a cheap fabric. you know. And I think, I feel, and I know from my former experience, if you're not in the factory and if you're not doing quality control, then they're gonna get you. That is in their genes to get you. You know? And so a bunch of the times I would have to travel into the factory, spend 4 or 5 days there, making sure everything was right and stuff. Very cooperative, very great. But at the end of the day, it's their show.
Right. So you had to make sure, hey, I want the thread thick, que dure, quality. That's the main concern.
Correct. And then the language becomes a barrier. How do you express, that you're unhappy? How do you express that, it's not right? And there is no right. It's the Chinese way, and that's it.
Di que te fue bien, hombre, le estoy dando el vestido.
Yes, they are some tough ones. Most definitely tough.
And after that venture, so you come home, you bring those dresses, you sell them. You had your little pop-up shop. I remember you had the nice little commercial, and then you go back. You go back because you're still teaching, or part of the gig was you had to teach at the same time.
In order to be in China, you do need a visa. You cannot just, let me go to China. No, there's a whole process. My visa was denied twice before I was able to get approved. I did a couple of trips to Houston, which the embassy is no longer there for conspiracy and whatnot. It was a long process. It was a lot of paperwork. It took me, like I said, 10 months. People would say, pues nunca te fuiste, no que vas para China. Es un proceso. It was a very long process, submitting paperwork from not only transcripts, birth certificates, proof of residence. It was just,
it's like a whole background check.
Yes. And all I'm going to say to that is the U.S. doesn't do that. So
interesting. So just a cultural background.
What are you coming for? Like, you're not coming for, either you're coming for business, you're coming to work. I mean, it's a whole, you have to follow it's a communist country. What are you doing here? You just can't come in and do your thing.
What is that like?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never felt safer.
Really?
There was cameras on the sidewalk. There was cameras on the bus. There was cameras on the metro. There was cameras on the elevator. There was cameras everywhere you turn. And the word on the street was, if they clicked a button, they can follow you to your last location.
Wow, that's intense, bro.
So if if you're doing the right thing and you do the right thing, stick to yourself. I never encountered a problem. I did notice, sometimes in the markets or whatnot, there's an altercation or something, raising of voices, and it's an immediate circle. Everyone's recording. Everyone wants to know what's up.
Wow. That's interesting. So, because see, I'm saying, right now with politics and communists and socialism and all these other things, so you're saying you feel safe, but what is it that look? Do you have any more hats? So do you?
They're coming. Direct messages on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah, Instagram. So when you're an American, you're an expat, so I'm assuming you're a little bit different. What about the people that live there, living under a communist country?
That's the Chinese. They live there. It's their country. They're very prideful of their country. Their country is number one. And every morning, it's kind of here in the U.S. Oh, it's communist country. They have to listen to a song every morning. Well, don't we have to do the Pledge of Allegiance every morning?
I pledge allegiance every single morning.
And, and it's their country. They're prideful of their country. Their country's number one. People don't want to admit it. We don't want to admit it. But let me tell you one thing. Yeah, they're more advanced than we are here in many aspects, not just one.
Okay, so for example, let's touch on the train real quick. How cool is the transportation over there?
You can get from one side of the country to the other side of the country in a couple of hours in a gautier. It's called gautier, which is this bullet train. And there is a train that leaves every city every 20 minutes. Wow. So let's say that I wanted to get a train from McAllen to San Antonio. It would take me about 30 minutes in a gautier or less. The Gautier goes about 205 miles an hour, I believe.
Oh, so it would take you about an hour. It would take you to get an hour to get there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Instead of 4 or 5 hours.
I remember I did a 15-hour driving trip. I did it in a high-speed train. It took me 2.5 hours. A 15-hour driving trip took me 2.5 hours on the bullet train.
Wow. So that's pretty cool. That's one thing that they're advanced out on. What else are they a little bit more advanced? What I guess all those everything you mentioned, everything.
Transportation. I mean, buses. The buses had their own lane. Let's get this traffic on the go. Buses had their own lane. There's Ubers, there's DDs. It's called DDs. The Uber and the Lyft is called DD. DD is the same as Uber. They bought Uber out. They bought McDonald's out. So now McDonald's has a different name. Same restaurant, but different, Chinese owned, I guess. Infrastructure. They've got buildings going up like nothing, They've got their technology super advanced, everything with a click of a button.
And I remember you brought watches one time with you.
Yes, I did. Yeah, they're advanced. They're advanced. They're ahead. Most definitely. They have, each building is set up with amazing light fixtures. So at night, the city literally comes to life with nothing but LED lights.
What was the city that you lived in that popped up like in a span of like a year or two all of a sudden?
That was, I moved to Shenzhen. So they have the most millionaires per capita in the world. I lived in Shenzhen. It was the electronic capital of the world. So everything having to do with electronics is from Shenzhen. I was there. I lived there for 2 years. There was a bunch of electronic markets everywhere. I lived there for about 2 years. The buildings, everything. 7 years ago, that city was non-existent. And Shenzhen is the border with Hong Kong. So from my apartment to the city center of Hong Kong, it was a 15-minute bullet train ride. And so 7 years ago, that city was non-existent, nothing, not one building. And now it is a tier one city.
Popped it up real quick. The country went up. How about this one? What was the coolest technology thing you saw over there?
Using WeChat, it was amazing. WeChat, you do everything. Transfer money. Oh, you know what? Let's split our bills quick. Let's go ahead and transfer on WeChat. Give me this on WeChat. Let's go Dutch. It's got an option. Pay your electricity. It's got an option. Pay your phone. It's got an option. Everything was controlled from that. It was a scan. It was a simple scan. You would scan. You were out the door. No touching. No nothing.
So it's like our Facebook, our apps, just a little bit more advanced. Or way more advanced.
Way more advanced, yes. And of course, everything is monitored. Everything is monitored. So watch what you say, watch what you post. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So then let's go back to you. So you have that experience. You talk a little about the culture. You go back after the dresses, and then what happens after that? What's your grind there?
I come back and I continue to teach. And I moved to Huame International School. That's the school I'm at. That's the summer I go back. I had 3 months. I came down for like 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember. I would come down once a year. And I go back to the school. It's a new area. It's huge. So I'm out by a mountain, mountainside, teaching at this international school. And, it's new grocery stores, new markets. You walk. I'm walking down the street one day at night, because they have so many, they're making their money, they're selling random stuff, socks, candy, rice. And I'm walking down, and all of a sudden I see a dog hanging in the meat market next to other meat to purchase. So that freaked me out.
So you're telling me you had filet a la Perito,
well, I can't remember if that was before or after the rat.
You ate canine?
No, I said, I don't know if when I saw the dog hanging, I don't know if it was before or after I had a rat.
You had a rat?
I was eating hot pot at a restaurant. Hot pot, huo is a very popular Chinese dish. And they bring a big pot, tipo caldo, and they bring you thinly sliced meat. They bring you potatoes, vegetables, and you put it in there, all the veggies, and then you put the meat in for like 6 to 7 seconds, because once you overcook the meat, it's not good, So it was real quick. And we were eating. It was the last. We had already finished. Oh, it was delicious. And I'm just, kind of spinning it, a ver qué sale, qué hay, qué no se comieron. And I get a big piece of like rat meat.
How did you know it was rat meat?
It was rat meat. It was rat meat. So then my Chinese friend, she's like, please don't say nothing. Please don't say nothing. Super conservative, quiet Chinese girl. Please don't say nothing, Ruben. Let's go, Ruben. Let's go, teacher Ruben. Let's go. Don't say nothing. And I said, no, they give us a rat. We're eating a rat. And so she starts looking at line. She's like, no, it's cow. It's cow. Look at the picture. It's cow. So anyways, that's experience. They eat a lot of different things. A dog is a delicacy. And
really?
We eat pork. Pork eats pork. We eat pork. True. We eat cow. They
the tongue of the cow, the brain of the cow. I mean, who are we to judge the stomach lining of the cow?
¿Cómo se llama? El cabrito, all that.
Right. So who are we to judge, right?
It's the culture, what were you raised like? And that was interesting, though. I never had it. I was at one place one time, and they brought a plate at a hot pot. They brought a plate with super white meat, something I'd never seen before. And immediately I said, what is that? I said, that's dog meat. I said, yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, it was tough.
Nah, interesting. So I guess the rumors are true. People they eat a little bit different. Do they eat bats?
I don't know. I don't know, but let me tell you that, yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. The food is very interesting. They like to eat, and they go all out, especially for me as a foreigner and as an educator of these Chinese students. They would fill up an entire table of just like food, like go in. I don't need seafood. I don't need seafood. That's not, they would bust out with shrimp, oysters, lobster. None of that is my thing, And so that was difficult in the beginning, and then you just get used to it. Like they eat rice every morning. They eat noodles every morning. They eat a boiled egg. Like that's their thing. Their go-to is rice. Like, what you have for lunch? Mi fan, rice. What you have for dinner? What are you going to have? Mi fan. And it's just like, and apparently if you're from the north, you like noodles. And if you're from the south of China, you like rice.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Wow. Bueno, y luego, so then you go back, you start working there. What other kind of, you traveled a lot, didn't you? I remember you.
I did. I had the opportunity to travel to 20 plus countries. You travel, you get days off, you get they have a bunch of holidays. And so what you want to do is you want to get out. You want to get out of China. I remember I had weekends where I needed to leave to Hong Kong so that I can use my internet freely. I can log on to Facebook. I can log on to Instagram, because, now society turns into like everything's about social media marketing, right. And how can you do that if there's a fire, there's a wall, you can't get over that wall unless you have a VPN, and that's illegal. So, if they were to catch you, you're getting locked up or whatnot. So,
so it's very controlled then.
Extreme because everyone's got a VPN,
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you get out and you get to travel. I was in Asia. I visited many countries in Asia. It was beautiful. Sometimes alone, sometimes with friends. Beautiful experiences. Really, awesome.
I'm interested in knowing your journey from beginning to end. You have your logo, and then you have the beach clothing line, which I loved. I have the shirt you gave me there. How was that?
So I decided that I didn't want to be known for selling things that I wasn't supposed to, So I decided, you know what? I need to launch my own brand. So what am I going to do? What am I into? So it started with doing some shorts, and I thought about you and Adolf in the coaching industry. And I said, hey, why not create a short where they can just, be comfort, work out, and still be in the classroom, So that's how it started. Like, okay, let me do a coaching line. Why? Because many people call me and ask me, ¿qué puedo vender? What can I sell? Pues yo no sé qué tipo de gente tú conozcas. It's your circle. It's your network. Who do you know? What do you know? And so for me, it was, okay, my brothers are coaches. They can, they can sport them. They can use them, run the word, whatnot. But then I said, I'm not doing that for me. So then I said, okay, let me do some swimming trunks since I've been traveling to so many resorts, And so I started doing, I went ahead and I manufactured about 8 different designs of shorts. And so we were getting ready to leave. I was like 2 weeks before my trip was out. And I said, I need tops for these shorts, And that's how Savage by Rue came about. I walked the biggest textile market in the world, which is Guangzhou Fabric Market. Huge blocks and blocks, and you just walk and you find. At this time, I already knew a little bit of Chinese, and I had people that I can, call or rely on to help me to come negotiate, because the moment you speak English is the moment where they see dollar signs, and they just want to charge you super extra for everything. And so I did that. I bought the thing. I bought the shirts for the shorts, or I bought the fabric to design the brand. And I decided, you know what, this is it. Everyone's talking about the shirts and not the shorts. So we went ahead. We traveled to El Nido, Palawan, which is the #1 island in the world, 3 years in a row. So we took a couple of shots there. I was also able to travel to the Maldives, also with Savage by Rue. We got some footage there. We got some pictures there. I was able to work with Hair by Akani, who was also working on her brand. And you start meeting a bunch of influencers. I'm here to take photos, or I'm here to do this. At one point, one of the girls was Chinese, and she was like doing some marketing for one of the Chinese stores. And her photographer asked me if she can shoot me with one of my shirts, just, I guess, for her. I'm a foreigner, kind of one of those things. And so I agreed to that. I was able to do that. I was able to travel to, Thailand, Philippines, Macau, Hong Kong, Canada, France, Seoul, South Korea, Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia. So yes, it was, hey, Miss Moss, what's going on? Yes. Shout out to Tiffany Moss. She does some candles, some amazing wax candles. Okay. And you can reach out for her. They're called Fawn candles, and they're all organic, awesome wax. You can use it for several things, and I'll let your mind play with that. Okay.
I might need some of those. All right. So you get the clothing line. So because I like the shirts you were making. So you were designing the shirts like out of scratch from your mind?
Yes, they designed the material. So, there's extensive, blocks and blocks and buildings of material. You walk around, what do you want? What's the style you're going for? What are you looking for? Who's your market? What's your niche? Are you doing this for everyone? And so I decided to go that. There we go, www.fawncandles.com. Let your mind play with that, all right? So hit her up. It's amazing candles. Also, Miss Moss is from China. We had the opportunity to meet in China to work together. I don't know if Miss Stephanie Ario's on, but also she's with Hair by Akani. We also met, and that's what you gravitate. You gravitate to the people that are pushing forward. You gravitate to the people that are going to make you become the better you. We're so far from home. It would take me 33 hours to get from my door to mom's door when I would come visit, and you just gravitate to these people. We're so far away. They're both from Texas. And so you become a family. You become a family abroad, and you get together for whatever holiday, Thanksgiving, or just, hey, we're cooking, or I'm making hush puppies, or I'm making Mexican food. Come over, Hola, prima, saludos. And so, yeah, it definitely, you stick together with all these expats as well.
Nice. So you're talking about the design because you did the dresses. Okay, how about this? I mean, I'm really interested. I'm intrigued, and I'm surprised that I've never asked you these questions when you're here and when we hang out. But
Because we're
it
eating
was,
all the time.
yeah, I know, right? So it's how different or how similar was it when you're making and producing the dresses to when you start the shorts and the shirt? Is it a big difference, or what kind of run us through that a little bit?
So with the
Comparison.
dresses, it's rayon material. It's rayon material. It's ready made. I go in there. I select what I want and what style I want, and they mass produce. Okay. And so sometimes they have stock. Sometimes they don't have stock. So when they have stock, it's awesome for me because I don't have to mass produce something. A lot of people want to, no, pues quiero comprar esto. The Chinese people don't want to mess with you if you're trying to buy 300 or 400 pieces. They're trying to do business with you. You want to make 4,000 or 5,000 pieces of something.
Oh, snap. Like that, huh?
You know what? These California, I know they've got that fashion district. These people are coming to China, buying $1 million worth of stuff. They come here and they're selling them like pizzas. They're selling $20,000, $50,000 a time for a customer, because they've already got it for the minimal price because they ordered so many pieces, So you can't compete. It was so difficult. And I feel like China got to a point where they knew what was up.
Right.
They knew, hey, you know what? Oh, he's America. The address is in the USA. Oh, we got to charge. So a lot of people started running to Thailand. They said Thailand was a new up-and-coming place. Also Bangladesh, I know H&M does their stuff there, but I've heard stories from Bangladesh where they have the women and the children lined up going to work at 5, 6 in the morning. So I never opted to visit Bangladesh. Right. India is also great, silks, textiles, hair. So it just depends what kind of product you're looking for. I'm all over the place. I'm a hustler. I've done it. I've done electronics. I've done clothing. I've done design. And I also had the opportunity to visit a bunch of furniture fairs. I went to a couple of furniture fairs in Turkey, Istanbul. I've been to fairs in France. And so all that is getting me exposed to, the road I'm taking now,
Nice. That's pretty cool. So I know. So, okay. So you started with the dresses. Now talk to us about the shirts.
The shirts. I picked the fabric. I took them to the place where they did them for me. And I said, this is the first set. This is the first collection. You need to have it out in 2 weeks because I have a flight that I need to go promote these. So they did the shirts. My first collection was all see-through. We did that because of the, and a lot of people are like, okay, ¿dónde está? ¿Por qué nunca hiciste nada? It's a process. It's a baby. It's not something you do overnight. It takes planning. It takes money. It takes time. I was working full time. Sabes que I have like 6 days off in 2 months. Okay, well, let me book something for that time. Or you know what? This textile, they ran out of this fabric, so they're making it. It's going to be ready in 2 weeks. And, oh, you know what? I don't have a model. Well, you know what? Let me be my model. I don't have a graphic designer. Oh, you know what? Let me look into YouTube. Let me see how I can create content, how I can create my website. So
it's all self-taught.
I've done myself.
Self-taught and figure it out.
I've done it. I've self-taught myself from the root. Okay, from the root of how everything starts.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to those shirts, man. I love the logo. I love the shirts. The one line you brought out, your first batch. I know I have mine over there. No me queda. I can't wear that down.
There's some changes coming. But we're still pushing Savage by Rue. But definitely life has thrown me another route. But there is some stuff coming for Savage by Rue. So just hang in there, yeah.
So we know we know it's Savage by Rue. It's coming, high quality material because you know how to do it. I'm excited for that. You're a teacher in China. You meet people, the hustle, the grind, the travel, the culture. Now, I'm sure people want to talk about what did you experience? You were not at ground zero, but you were there when COVID started.
Yes.
How was that?
I was in the midst of relocating to Hong Kong because of the fact that I needed access to, Savage by Rue was growing. I was invited to join the China Fashion Week for the summer 2020 collection. right before the pandemic broke out. So I knew that I needed to get out of China to where I had access to use my computer, my marketing strategies, my techniques freely. Right. And so I had a job offer in Hong Kong, which I accepted. So I was in the process of moving. And also it was Chinese New Year, which came early the rat year. It came early. It came around January 14th. So I stopped working like January 6th in China because I was gathering all my things, getting ready to move to Hong Kong, which was just a 15-minute train ride.
Right.
And in the midst of that, the first case, I like get multiplied by like 18 or by 80 people overnight or something like that. So they started freaking out, and it was started on WeChat. You know, there was a bunch of articles on WeChat. And then all of a sudden you go outside and everyone's, you know, with their face covering. Everyone was traveling. It's Chinese New Year. So everyone is in their destination. So there is a pandemic, a virus broke out, and there's a mass population of people about to travel. So China, what China does is China stops everything. China closes everything. Each city, each village, each apartment complex is closed. They close it, you know? And so that is how they were able to gain control of the situation in 78 days. They took 78 days. So it's here. I'm home packing, trying to move. My friends are stuck. They're all traveling, Philippines, Indonesia. Everyone's away from China, right? And so I said, I'm going to write it out. I'm at home. I'm packing. I'm cleaning. I'm going to move to Hong Kong soon, whatnot. So I'm there debating, you know, on the phone with mom. Yes, no, what do I do? Should I stay? Let me stay. I'm going to stay. So that was the thing. I'm moving to Hong Kong. I have nothing to go do in the U.S. You know, I'm doing so well here. And then
This is about what, a week or two?
It was January 24th. I believe, or 23rd, that the U.S. sent its plane to pick up its American citizens from Wuhan.
Really?
And so that was an article, a very popular article, because, oh my God, the U.S. sent for its people, you know? And so that at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to get out. Because the rumor was that they're closing the border. They're closing the border. They're closing the border. They're closing the border. They're closing the border tomorrow. You have 15 hours to get out.
I remember you called me like, hey, what do you think I should do? I was like, get out. Like, what do you say?
So it is a communist country. I was a little concerned about how are they going to close the country? Like, am I not going to be able to leave? Can I not come back in? Everything was up in the air. It was so new. And so, of course, we went ahead. We purchased the ticket online. I had 15 hours to get out. I packed as much as I could. I had a couple of friends in China. I said, hey, you know where my keys at? You know, it's the code entry. I said, go into my apartment and get everything that you want. The dishes, blenders, plants, covers, 5 years.
Whatever, right.
You know, like, and the other stuff that I had, they had like a donation drop box inside my community. So I just put everything in there and I was out in 15 minutes. When I crossed the border into Hong Kong. They asked me a couple of questions. Do you have fever? Have you visited Wuhan in the last month? No, I haven't. I get to Hong Kong. Everyone at the airport is masked up. Everyone's freaking out. I get to Japan.
Wait, time out. So when you leave the building to go to that checkpoint, what does it look like outside? Huh?
Ya se pasó la hora. Well, we'll keep going, all right?
What did that look like?
What?
On your way, when you leave the building, what did it look like in the streets there in your city?
Empty. There's nobody outside. The government's telling you do not leave your home. You know, I was able to get out.
How were you?
I was able to get out of China before they went into a strict lockdown. Only one person was allowed to leave their home every 2 days, and it was only to grocery shop. So they literally stayed home for about 78 days.
Wow.
And
that's a quarantine.
There, Xi Jinping, you know, he gained control of that real quick. And his citizens followed orders. It is a communist country. I know that. But this was his way of saying, hey, we're number one. Even though the virus initiated in Wuhan, the fact that we were able to control it in 78 days and go back to normality we are number one. And the citizens, are by it.
Right. So you get to a checkpoint. What did the checkpoint look like when you get there? Was it like the checkpoint here para Furias or like more military?
No, como el puente ahí de Reynosa y pasas, la visa, photo, you put your fingerprints, they take your picture of your face, and you go in. You go into Hong Kong, you fill out an arrival form every time. Arrival, how many days are you going to be here? Where are you going to be at? I was just doing a transfer to the airport, so it was a quick, I would pay about $20 for a private van to cross, you cross the border, they have vans there, and they take you straight to the airport, to the Hong Kong airport.
And that was it. You were long gone from China and the COVID virus.
5 years, 4.5, four and some, working towards everything, and the pandemic said it's over. It's over just like that.
You leave China to escape the pandemic. You arrive in the Valley, and guess who's waiting for you here in the Valley? The pandemic.
Miss Rona was live and ready. Yes, yes. It is a very real situation. It is a very, very, very real situation. There's so many myths about it. You can believe what you want, but the reality of it all, it is real. So wear your masks. And I feel like we're at a point where we're tired. Ya nos cansamos, queremos salir, queremos hacer, nos queremos juntar. But it is real. It is real. It is real. Wear your mask, precautions, wash your hands, do your part. Do your little part in trying to, better the situation.
Got it. So I guess you have more for us coming up here in the next few months with your line and your projects. You're going to obviously you're going on a little vacation.
Yes. I will be traveling at 6 a.m. I have a little project. It's real and it's horrible. Yes, it is. I'm flying out to Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco tomorrow morning. I'm going to go visit my school, and I'm going to have a little project in store, a little video coming up. So it's going to be fun.
Well, keep us posted. I'm excited. I like I said, once again, I can't say enough about, this logo right here, Savage by Rue. I'm excited for your line, for your next batch, I guess.
Well, thanks for having me on your show, on your live show. I know it's widely talked about. Awesome. I'm excited. Before I go, I want to remind everyone to vote for Adolfo Mendez, my brother for Agua Said. And it's a pleasure. I'm willing to come back and see we can have another fun night.
All right. Hey, cheers to Savage by Rue and Ruben Mendez.
Oh, wait. Who can we see who's on live? I have a little gift. Can we see that?
Give me a sec. Yeah, right here. We got. Give me. Espérate. There's no quiere. There's 13 viewers. I can't. Hold on. I can't see it.
See the viewers.
It says live viewers. There's 13 of them online right now. Hold on. Let me see. There's a few of them. There's Aisa says cheers. Ana Loera says live. There's a few out here.
Live. Give her number 7. Is number 7 live?
Number 7. What do you mean number 7? I can't tell who.
Are they numbered? Are they numbered?
No. It's just people watching.
Okay, the 7th person that comes up in your screen. Who's that?
1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aisa Garza.
Aisa Garza, you won yourself a BDSM set, and I will go ahead and ship that out to you with a little shirt. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Tune in to Mendezville Live. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Hey, have fun. Be safe in Puerto Vallarta, man.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's my brother. That's my brother. Just so you guys know, just a friendly reminder. The guy has his nice line. Savage by Rue. I love this logo. I'll tell you what, I love the logo. He gave me a shirt. It's in my closet. I bought it pre-COVID, or I didn't buy it. He gave it to me pre-COVID. I fit well in it, but COVID happened and the 15 extra pounds of COVID. But it's a nice shirt. I really enjoy it. So there it is, Savage by Rue. It's got a nice line going. Friendly reminder, if you're going to the polls in the Palmview area, Ojo de Agua, Abram, Minnesota, Benson Palm Drive, 3 to 5 mile line, Dolphin Road, please vote for Adolfo Mendez, Agua Sud. Go out to the polls. Get your voice heard. Vote, 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 vote. We cannot stress it enough. Make sure you go vote. The polls are out there. It's getting good. Ahí vamos. Thank you, everyone, for watching. One last shout out to sponsor World Finance. When life throws unexpected expenses your way, World Finance is here to help. Get started by applying today at their Mission location at 1600 North Conway, Suite A, Mission, Texas. They can take applications by phone at 956-580-4533, or you can visit their website at loansbyworld.com. They are accepting applications with matriculas, passport, or ITIN. You do not need to have a social to apply. All loans are subject to their usual credit underwriting policies. World Finance. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure stay tuned for his line. Vote for Adolfo Mendez if you can. You guys have a good night. Take it easy. Peace.